There comes a time in your life when you realize you've been giving too much of yourself to people who never even asked how you were doing. You show up. You listen. You care. You forgive. And for a while, it feels good. It feels like the right thing to do. But then one day, you wake up and realize you're empty. Because every piece of kindness you gave away, nobody ever returned. You start to notice something painful. People don't value gentle souls. They use them. They don't see your warmth as strength. They see it as access. They think because you're kind, you'll always be available. Because you listen, you'll never speak up. Because you care, you'll never walk away. And that's when it hits you. Being too friendly in a world like this doesn't make you loved. It makes you forgettable. Because people get comfortable. Too comfortable. They think your silence means weakness. They think your forgiveness means they can keep crossing lines. And while you keep saving others, no one's saving you. So you start to fade. You stop calling. You stop explaining. You start protecting your peace. Not because you stopped caring, but because you finally learned who deserves it. And that silence, that calm, that distance, it's not arrogance, it's healing. But let's be honest, they won't understand that. They'll call you cold. They'll say you've changed. They'll whisper that you've become selfish, but they don't see the nights you spent breaking yourself just to make everyone else comfortable. They don't see how many times you bit your tongue instead of speaking your truth. They don't see the way you carried everyone's problems while no one carried yours. You were never weak for being kind. You were just unguarded. You believed everyone had the same heart as you. But this world taught you otherwise. It showed you that not everyone deserves access to your energy, that your peace isn't something to hand out, it's something to protect. And maybe that's what this speech is about. Not becoming bitter, but becoming boundaried. Not losing your heart, but learning who to share it with. Because there's a difference between being good and being naive. There's a difference between being kind and being a doormat. And if no one has told you this lately, you're allowed to stop showing up for people who wouldn't even notice if you disappeared. You're allowed to pull back. You're allowed to prioritize you. They won't like it when you do. Because your absence will expose their intentions. Your silence will reveal who only came for your energy, not your soul. But let them be uncomfortable. Let them talk. You've spent too long sacrificing your peace just to make everyone else feel at home. Now it's your turn to build a home within yourself. So stop being too friendly. Stop bending over backwards for people who wouldn't even lean forward for you. Stop confusing loyalty with self-destruction. Stop mistaking being the bigger person for being the one who always gets hurt. There's strength in softness, yes, but only when that softness is protected. Because when you keep giving without limits, your kindness turns into exhaustion. And that's what happened to you, didn't it? You reached your breaking point quietly. You didn't make a scene. You just stopped explaining yourself. Because you finally realized, real ones don't need explanations. They'll notice the shift in you. They'll say, you've changed. But that's the point. You had to. Because being too friendly almost destroyed you. It made you forget that your energy has value. It made you believe that being available all the time was love. When really, it was self-abandonment. And now, you're done abandoning yourself. You're done being everyone's comfort zone, while no one ever becomes yours. Because deep down, you've realized something powerful. You're not meant to be liked by everyone. You're meant to be respected by the right ones. And if this message hits your soul, if you've ever felt drained, used, or invisible, then this speech is for you. Because I know how it feels to be the one who always gives more. To be the one who smiles through disappointment. To be the one who helps everyone else rise, and then goes home empty. But that version of you, the one who never demanded respect, he's gone now. You're rebuilding. Quietly, strongly, silently. This is your era of peace, your era of focus, your era of unapologetic self-worth. So before we move forward, before this message digs deeper, I want you to do something for yourself right now. If you've ever been told, you've changed, when all you did was finally respect your energy, hit that subscribe button. Because here, we don't glorify self-sacrifice, we glorify self-worth. This isn't just another motivational speech, it's a reminder. A reminder that your kindness deserves boundaries, that your silence has power, and that the most dangerous version of you is the one who stopped begging to be understood and started walking in quiet confidence. So take a deep breath, because from this moment forward, we're not shrinking ourselves to make others comfortable. We're not being too friendly, just to be accepted. We're not giving our time to people who don't value it. You've done enough. You've cared enough. Now it's time to rise differently. Because when you finally learn to value yourself, you stop chasing people and start attracting peace. There's something sacred about disappearing, about walking away from everything that once drained you, not to prove a point, but to find your peace. When you go silent, people think you've given up, but what they don't realize is that silence is where warriors are built. Because in that quiet, you finally hear yourself again. You hear your doubts, your fears, your insecurities whispering to you. And for the first time, you don't run from them. You face them. You sit with the pain you used to numb with distractions. You confront the loneliness you once avoided with fake friendships. You start to understand that solitude doesn't mean emptiness. It means clarity. You stop explaining yourself. You stop defending your silence. You start moving differently. Calm, disciplined, unreadable. You start waking up earlier, working out when nobody's watching, staying off your phone, saying no without guilt. You start cleaning your space, your mind, your soul. Bit by bit, the old you, the one who needed validation, begins to fade. And what's being born in that silence is someone the world isn't ready for. Because every time you stop reacting, you're taking your power back. Every time you choose peace over chaos, you're becoming stronger. Every time you keep your moves quiet, your results start to scream. And that's the beauty of this phase. Nobody knows what you're building. They think you've disappeared. They think you've fallen off. But they don't know you're in the shadows, sharpening your edge. Your silence isn't weakness. It's strategy. You're learning to fight battles without noise. You're learning to let your progress do the talking. You're learning to rebuild without seeking applause. And yes, it's lonely. There are nights where you'll question if you're doing the right thing. There are mornings where you'll miss the comfort of old habits, but then you'll look in the mirror and realize you're not who you used to be. You're harder, sharper, calmer. You've learned how to live without needing constant approval. You've learned how to motivate yourself when no one's watching. You've learned that silence isn't the absence of strength, it's the foundation of it. This is where you start building your empire in secret. Not an empire of money or fame, but of mindset. You start journaling instead of complaining. You start meditating instead of reacting. You start reading instead of gossiping. You start cutting distractions like a surgeon removing poison. And every day, something small inside you shifts. Your shoulders straighten. Your eyes change. You stop begging to be understood. Because now you understand yourself. You stop chasing people. Because now you're chasing purpose. That's when they'll start to notice. The same people who ignored your presence will start feeling your absence. They'll text you, "You've changed." And you'll smile because that's exactly what you came here to do. Change, evolve, rise. But this time, you won't explain it to them. You won't defend your growth. Because you finally realize, not everyone deserves access to your transformation. Some people only love the version of you that was convenient for them. The version that said yes too easily. The version that kept quiet when disrespected. The version that tolerated being taken for granted. That version is gone. Now, when they speak your name, it'll be with confusion. They won't know whether to love you or fear you. Because you've become unpredictable. You've become dangerous in your calm. Your silence has turned into power. You've learned that revenge isn't about proving anyone wrong. It's about proving yourself right. It's about becoming so focused, so at peace, so untouchable, that the noise can't reach you anymore. You stop posting your progress. You stop talking about your plans. You stop trying to look successful. You just become it, quietly, patiently, relentlessly. And the best part, nobody sees the process. They only see the results. They'll think it happened overnight, but you'll know how many sleepless nights it took. You'll know the weight of every decision, every boundary, every silent battle, and you'll realize you didn't go silent because you were broken. You went silent because you were rebuilding. The world teaches you to shout your wins, but real power, it moves in silence. It doesn't need recognition. It doesn't need validation. It just is. This is the stage where your energy shifts, where you start walking differently, where people can sense something changed, even if they can't explain it. Your aura hardens. Your tone deepens. You carry peace like a weapon, because now you know, you don't need to prove your worth to anyone. You've already proven it to yourself, and maybe, just maybe, this is what true transformation looks like. Not loud, not flashy, not public, but quiet, intentional, ruthless, because the real flex isn't being liked, it's being respected. It's walking into a room and not needing to say a word, because your presence speaks for itself. That's where you're headed. That's what the silence was for. So let them wonder where you went. Let them whisper. Because when you finally reappear, you won't need to announce it. They'll feel it. They didn't see you coming back like this, because in their eyes you were done. You were finished. You were the one who went quiet, who disappeared, who stopped trying. But what they didn't know was, while they laughed, you were learning. While they pointed fingers, you were plotting your rise. While they spoke your name in pity, you were rewriting what it meant. And now you've returned. Different, darker, calmer, unrecognizable. You don't walk the same anymore. There's no desperation left in your eyes. You don't seek approval. You don't beg for understanding. You've learned to move with quiet confidence, the kind that doesn't need noise to be heard. When they see you now, they don't know what to say. They can feel it. The energy around you has changed. There's something untouchable about you, something dangerous about your calm. Because this version of you was born in pain, forged in silence, and built for war. They'll call it arrogance again. They'll say you changed, but you'll just smile. Because they'll never understand the kind of pain that forced this transformation. They'll never know what it took to rebuild yourself from the ashes. The sleepless nights, the loneliness, the moments you questioned if it was all worth it. But now, look at you. Still standing, still breathing, and this time, no one can take that from you. You've become what they never thought you could be. Someone who doesn't chase love, validation, or attention. You've found something greater, peace. You've mastered the art of walking away without a word. You've learned to smile when they doubt you, and stay silent when they provoke you. You've learned that not everyone deserves an explanation. Sometimes, your silence is the answer. And now, when they whisper your name, it's different. It's not pity anymore. It's not mockery. It's fear. It's respect. It's the quiet realization that the one they thought they broke didn't just come back. He came back better. They'll start saying, he changed. But what they don't know is that change wasn't a choice. It was survival. You had to evolve. You had to let go of who you were just to become who you were meant to be. You're no longer fighting for validation. You're fighting for purpose. You're no longer waiting for someone to believe in you. You believe in yourself now, and that's what makes you unstoppable. Every scar became a reminder. Every rejection became redirection. Every moment of silence became a seed, growing in the dark until it was ready to break the surface. And now that you've bloomed, the world can't ignore it. You didn't need to announce your comeback. Your energy did it for you. And to the listener, the one who's still in the silence right now, still questioning, still rebuilding, hear this carefully. Don't rush your return. Don't seek validation from the same people who made you doubt yourself. Stay in the shadows a little longer. Let your silence harden you. Let your solitude teach you. Because when it's time, you'll walk out, not to prove them wrong, but to prove yourself right. You'll look around one day and realize that all the noise, all the chaos, all the pain, was the training ground for your peace. You'll understand that your rebirth needed isolation, that your transformation needed silence, that your power needed time, And when you finally rise, they'll whisper. They'll wonder how you did it. They'll question what changed. But you won't say a word. Because you'll know. The real ones don't explain. The real ones just move. They evolve. They build. They rise. And that's the message, brother. Stop trying to convince the world of your worth. Just become undeniable. Become the man who doesn't talk about what he's going to do. He does it. Become the man whose silence is louder than their words. Become the man who no longer reacts to disrespect. He just disappears and rebuilds in silence. And when he returns, he doesn't seek revenge. He is the revenge. Because that's what true evolution looks like. It's not loud. It's not public. It's not about proving anyone wrong. It's about becoming someone they never saw coming. You were not born to remain soft and forgettable. You were born to become someone who carries silence like a weapon. Someone who values peace more than attention. Someone who learned that power doesn't need to shout. It just needs to exist. So stay quiet. Stay focused. And when they least expect it, rise. Because one day soon, they'll whisper your name too. And not because they doubt you anymore, but because they'll finally understand what your silence meant. It wasn't surrender. It was strategy. It wasn't weakness. It was rebirth. And when that day comes, don't say a word. Just smile. Because you'll know you became exactly who you were meant to be.